Sparta, children were raised to be tough and fight for their state, dying and fighting in honor. The wives were expected to yield at least one son to carry on the family's line. Trained to be the best of warriors, the Spartans were a force to be reckoned with. On the other hand, Athens was a less fierce nation that flourished in its market. Even though there were many citizens untrained in combat, every man qualified for enlisting counted. Their land troops were not as organized, but they had a formidable navy. With an enemy force closing in on Greece, the city-states had to put their strengths together to defeat the Persian army and save the possible chance of ever having democracy. The Persian army is closing in on Greece, planning to burn Athens to the ground and conquer all of Greece. An Athenian messenger enters Sparta.
Leonidas, I am Perseus, messenger from Athens. You must know that the Persian army is on its way to conquer the Greek nations. We must unite to defeat this great threat.
We are Sparta. There's not any mightier army than ours. You fools are but a hunch on our back.
But, great king, both our nations will fall and our people enslaved, at least those who survive.
Not one Spartan will work for the Persian hand.
Then we must unite as the great nation of Greece.
Leonidas and the Spartan government debate on their decision. On one hand, Spartans fight with their brethren, but this long-kept way of life could lead to their destruction. In their hearts, Spartans knew they must unite. Leonidas speaks to the oracle.
We have a great enemy at our gates. Do the Spartans join Athens, or do they stand and watch at the edge of the battlefield?
O ye men who dwell in the seats of broad Sparta, either your glorious town shall be sacked by the children of Perseus, or in exchange must all through the whole Sparta country mourn for the loss of a king, descendant of great Heracles.
Seeing as Leonidas believes that he is the descendant of that the oracle speaks of, he sets out knowing what must be done. Back at the Athenian state, Themistocles is preparing a navy for battle, for if they lose, their home will be lost.
There's been a tale of a Persian army encroaching on our town.
I heard a messenger was sent to warn them of this.
Recruiting has already been done at our home.
We will still need the Spartans to join us if we want to take down the Persians, or our freedom and way of life will be lost. Leonidas, knowing what must be done, asks the Spartan government allow him to gather troops, but they refuse. Instead, he picks his best men to be bodyguards, 300 men that must bear sons.
Do you have a son?
Yes, King, I have a son in my blood, and if I die in battle, he will carry out my name.
Do you have a son?
I have a son as well. I will be proud to fight by your side.
Back in Athens, the messenger returns, speaking of the news of Sparta's acceptance.
The Spartans have agreed to join us in battle.
Good. Organize my navy for glorious battle. Forth the brawn of the Spartans on land, the brain of the Athenians at navy at sea. We may have a chance to hold the Persian army at bay and save all of Greece.
As the Persian army encroaches the Spartans, and a few select Greeks prepare to stop them at Thermopylae. Meanwhile, the Athenian navy ambushes the Persian navy in the Artemisium Strait, for if they got around the Spartans, they would quickly fall. Now the Persian army approaches.
Great king, your army is strong, but my archers are many, and they will block out the sun.
Then we will have our battle in the shade.
As this is said, the Persians unleashed their army on the Spartans, who stopped them due to the disorganization. 2 days of battle showed the Spartans an Athenian victory as they held the giant army where they began. Many lay dead.
Go! An eye!
Flop, twitch.
Twitch.
Jackson.
On the third day, the Persian army found a pass around the Spartans to demolish them. Leonidas knows of this pass and sends most of the Greeks home, but he and his 300 Spartans remain to fight to the death. Themistocles and the Athenian navy return, knowing that the Spartans are lost.
In this time it took Themistocles and the navy to reorganize. A messenger was sent back to Athens for plans of evacuation. After the fall of the last Greek navy, there was nothing left for the Persians to take in Athens. In years to follow, the Greeks reorganized as one pushed the Persians out of another, all thanks to the stand of Thermopylae.
Stay strong. I'll miss you. I will be home soon.
Don't worry about us, we'll be fine. I'll take care of your house. Just come home soon.
Alexander turns and walks away. His son runs to him and tugs on his leg and hands him his favorite shell.
Thanks, son. Look after your mom and sisters.
He turns to walk away again. A group of Athenian soldiers guard the suppliers as they make their way to the city walls. Alexander is one of these soldiers. In the background, we see the messenger bringing the general news from within the city.
Attention to all those fighting for the Athens. Our city has been contaminated by a deadly plague. Many families are affected by this disease, and some have died. You are on strict orders not to enter the city for any reason. You are only a line of defense, and we need you to protect these wide walls. That's it.
Alexander's children are lying in their beds, coughing and covered with sores. Athena enters walking slowly and weak, carrying water for the children. Alexander is deeply affected by the news of the plague and worries for his family. He reaches in his pocket and finds his son's shell. He then decides that he needs to save his family.
Trident, I have to go to my family. They need me. I will take them to the Aegean Sea to escape the plague. I will take your family there too if you cover for me here.
Fine, save our families, but be careful. I will distract the general so you can leave.
Triton gets up and talks to the general while Alexander sneaks back into the city. Alexander is sneaking through the darkened city to his friend's house. Inside, the family is sleeping.
Nicole, wake up, wake up. We need to leave. We need to get out of this plague.
What's going on?
Your husband has sent me to gather you and your family and get away from this plague.
Let's go. Come on.
Alexander and Nicole take her family and sneak to Alexander's house. Alexander runs into his home only to find his family lying dead in their beds.
No! God, why?
Come on. It's not your fault. We need to go.
You're right. We must go.
Alexander takes Nicole and her family to the edge of the sea and they leave on a boat.